Hello, and welcome to the demonstration of the NotesWords application. This is running on a desktop browser. It is a fully client-side application and can be accessed at the link in the description. When you first load the application, it will look like this. So a new user can sign up by using the sign-up form. So let's go ahead and do that. I'll just call it demo user one. Call David Smith, give him an email. And then we'll give them a password. So if I start typing a password, you can see, oh, look, we have some requirements here that the password needs to meet. So in order to fulfill those requirements, you're gonna have to type all of these different things and add them to the password. I'll go ahead and show the password so you can see that more easily. You can see I've already added an uppercase character, and so that has hit the minimum of 1 required here. If I go ahead and add a lowercase letter, you'll see that gets added. If I add a number, that'll get added. Special characters are ones like a $sign, for example. You will need, by default at least, a non-keyboard character, at least not on the standard American QWERTY keyboard. So you have if I add this British pound sign, for example, that would qualify as a non-keyboard character. I also need unique characters, at least one. So you see I've typed 5 characters so far. If I add another A, that's not unique, so it doesn't qualify. But if I type a D here, capital D, that will qualify. However, we haven't hit the minimum length yet, so I can just add some more characters, and that does hit the minimum length of 8, so we're good. However, we have one more thing, which is the minimum strength of the password. You can see the system is evaluating this password as very weak. So we'll talk more in detail about how that works later, but let's just go ahead and add some more characters here. And now I've gotten the password up to strength minimum, or sorry, strength medium, which is the minimum standard. I'll just go ahead and copy paste that down here because you see currently we can't sign up because the passwords don't match. But once the passwords match, we'll be able to sign up. And one other thing I do want to point out before we go on is that we can't include our username, first name, last name, email. So I'll just type David here. You see that fails. If I type Smith, the include last name fails. If I put demo user one, then that criteria for the username will fail. And if I add dsmith at test.com, then will fail, does not include your email. So let's go ahead and remove all of that. We'll just copy this down again, or I think I can just delete this. Yeah, let's just copy this again. Come over here, paste, and then hit sign up. That will create our new user. We're logged in, we're able to create notes. So I can say create new note by clicking the new note button. I can create, say, a to-do list. So maybe my to-do list is record demo and upload video, and maybe I'll be hungry, so I'll want to cook dinner. I'll create a new note. This will just be some random thoughts. Maybe I'll just say, I like yellow. Maybe I want to go back to my to-do list, edit it, say, hey, I cooked dinner already, so that's done. I'll delete that. I come back to random thoughts. Maybe I don't even want to have any random thought notes anymore, so I'll just hit delete. That's gone. I could come back to the existing note, edit it again. Let's go over here in case I want to take a look at my account. So I can click there and come over to the account page, change my name. Maybe I want to go by something a little less formal, so I'll just click Dave, hit change. All right, and then if I want to change my password, I can do that here. Maybe, the company has a policy, you have to change it every so often. So I can go ahead and put in, for example, my old password and maybe add a 1 at the end, typical user behavior, right? But you'll notice that that fails this new criteria here, which is not similar to a previous password. So if we start clearing out those characters, eventually we get to the point where it's not too similar to a previous password, and we can just add some more characters, and that will be fine. We can then go ahead and copy paste that down here, and that'll be our new password. I'll hit change. You see we've hit all of the requirements, and I'll just go ahead and click change password, and that would be our new password. So that's all of the criteria here for this normal user account, but let me go ahead and show you as well the admin account. So you can see the configuration part. If I just type in admin and log in, you'll notice, of course, it tells us that an admin user is not good. That is actually a default behavior of Chrome freezing the admin password, but we do recommend, if you use this application, to change your admin password, but for the purpose of this demo, I'm not going to do that. So if I come over here to the configuration page, you can see we can configure the various password requirements. You can change the length, the number of lowercase letters, uppercase, numbers, special characters, extended special characters, which again are those ones that don't appear on standard American QWERTY keyboards, unique characters. Like I said before, you have to have at least 6 in this case. Password similarity, so this is how similar your password is allowed to be to a previous password. And then you can prohibit certain things, the common password list, and then also the user's first name, last name, username, and email could be prohibited from being in the email. So let's go from being your password. So let's go ahead and change a couple of these. Maybe I don't care if the user adds numbers, special characters, extended characters. Maybe I say I only care if the user copies the password exactly. And maybe I don't care about some of these things, but I do want the user's username not to appear. So if I go ahead and do that, I can come over to account. Let's take a look. If I type in my old password like admin, you can see here it's bad. It says not similar to a previous password, but if I delete one character, it's fine, it'll take it. And of course, admin is my username as well. So I can't include that either, as it is not allowed to include my username. However, there's a lot of other things that we can see got removed because we removed them from the requirements. So minimum length is not 18, so you see you have to add a lot of characters to hit that requirement. And there's all these other requirements too that you can play with. Let me go ahead and show you a couple more of those. So if we come back here, we can look at the score. So originally the scores, these are the default behaviors here. I can go ahead and change that. So maybe I want lowercase letters to be worth a lot more. By default, we set them to low because typically that's what users use the most. So they might be the most likely to be checked by potential people trying to break into your account. But if you as the administrator feel you want to change it, you can. So this, we can set it to 200, right? If I come back to account now with 200 set and just type in a small handful of lowercase letters, you can see it immediately tells us the password is very strong because those lowercase letters are now worth 200 points each, and it's being multiplied by the length of the password. You may be wondering how it determines how strong a password is based on that score. We can come back over here and we can scroll down and we can see the strength thresholds. So in order to hit very strong, you need 2,500, strong is 2,000, and so forth. Now, and we can also see down here that there is a strength minimum, which in this case is set to medium. Let's go ahead and adjust these a little bit. Maybe I, as the administrator, think this is too strong. So maybe I want very strong to be 1,200. Oh, but look, the strong is already set at 2,000. So you can't set very strong to be less than the strong because that's lower than it. So I should start down here at very weak. Maybe I'll set this to just 300, this to 600, this to 900, and this to 1,200. I'll go ahead and set the medium strength to strong. So now if I come back to account, try to edit my password again, you can see, oh, I didn't change this back. So let me go ahead and change that back to 2. All right. If I start putting in a password, you can see weak is not what we need. But if I just get to strong, that does meet that requirement. I do also need some more length. So I can go ahead and add that in here. And you can see that that would be strong enough to be taken. As the administrator account, I'm not going to change the password because I don't want to get locked out. But you can see here that we meet those requirements. And if I come back over here, there's a couple other things to go through. One, if I want to change these password settings back to the default, I can just click reset the default password or password settings. And then one other option I have is to delete users. So you see I created demo user 1 before, and I can just click delete if I want to delete him. It does give me a warning saying that I need to be sure I want to delete the user. All this user's data will be lost and cannot be restored. That's fine. He's just a demo user, so I'm going to click OK. And that is it. Thank you everybody for attending this demo, and please be sure to check out the link to the working application in the description. Thank you.